Where's your roadie? Where's your stagehand, Dave?
Britt's on the lanai, and Dylan just, I don't know. I think Dylan went to Chick-fil-A or something.
Unacceptable, man.
I
Get your
know.
people in order. Hey, it's Shit Talk Reviews. Thanks for coming. If you're here, and if you're not, well, you don't know, so it doesn't matter. I'm John. In the room with me, David. We are sans one Derek Showerhead today. He couldn't make it, but that's all right. We're gonna talk without him this time. That's
Yeah, we'll forge forward.
we shall. Well, we're talking about the latest release from DragonForce today, Warp Speed Warriors. Now, full disclosure, I have not gone too deep into the power metal genre before. DragonForce has been around for a while, formed in the UK back in '99, I think it was, by guitarists Herman Lee and Sam Totman. And they've had a not a revolving door of band members over the years, but they've had some turnover here and there. Their lineup now is, of course, Mark Hudson on lead vocals, Herman Lee, Sam Totman on guitar, Alicia Vigil on bass and backing vocals, and Guy Anzalone on drums, and I understand also does some singing as well. They had Cohen Jansen on this album, laying down some keyboards too. And holy hell, what an album this is.
It's very interesting, man. This is I don't know where to begin. It's like well,
this is considerably faster than anything really.
Not only, yeah, right? It's not so much that, John. It's more like the musical, theatrical themes and video game type energy that you hear in this music, on top of, the talent of the band. It's just a lot going on here.
It's an intense record.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like you said, they're very anthemic. And, the songs are, like you said, they're theatrical and huge. Everything, there's an epic battle raging somewhere almost all the time on this record.
Yeah.
I love it. I think it's great. I will tell you, I've heard DragonForce over the years here and there, but this is the first, heavy listening I've done. And I kind of knew what to expect, but at the same time, I didn't, because I'm not super familiar with the genre as a whole.
Right.
I won't lie to you. I smiled through the whole record.
Right.
I just had a grin on my face. These guys are they're so good. They're fast.
They are.
Holy
it's really fast, really fast. But it's just amazing to me how they can just be chugging with a deep, dark tone 1 second, and then boom, in a split second, it gets so theatrical, and it gets you like, it kind of gets you really in the mood of like, what the hell's going on here? Because to me, a lot of it was like intense, video game intense type music. It was really interesting. Never heard anything like this before, really.
You've referenced video games twice. Do you know that they have a video game sort of industry connection?
I did not. No.
They one of their songs, Through the Fire and the Flames, was featured in Guitar Hero 3, 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And I would assume, I'm sure that opened them up to a bigger audience than just within the general power metal or extreme power metal or speed metal genres. Label it what you will. Unfortunately, without Derek here, he's our subgenre specialist and in-house expert. So but yeah, I gotta believe that they got and they've got a huge audience. Their listening base is massive, but I would assume that being in Guitar Hero, that being such a popular game, that a lot of people learned about them. They were in Skate 2. They had a track featured in that game.
So it explains a lot then, because you definitely hear that vibe in this music for sure. Mm-hmm.
I read that the sort of Power of the Triforce, the second track, was, Herman said, that was inspired by the Zelda universe, the Legend of Zelda universe. So you hit the nail on the head there, even not knowing what you were talking about.
It's just, right. No, John, very impressive. And here's the deal. I just don't know, man. How can I explain this? It's one of those things you hear it. It's like, wow, no, this is really good. just not sure it's one of those things that I can listen to a lot of. Maybe in doses, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, this type of music, not that I didn't like it. I'm just saying I would have to take this in doses because it's a lot to absorb. It really is. There's a lot going on here.
Yeah. The overall scope, I guess you'd call it. I don't know a better way to phrase it. It's massive. Everything about it is huge.
Yes.
The production is fantastic. The album was mixed, engineered, produced by and mastered by a guy named Damien Renaud. I think I have that right. I hope so. Did a great job. It's just everything about it is massive.
Yeah.
From a production level, from a song craft level, there's so much. It's uplifting, and then it goes dark, and it's for all
sure.
over the place, but in a very
good way,
controlled environment.
Yes,
it's a big record. I know the guys in the band talked about this album sort of incorporating a lot of different styles for them, and I'll take that at face value, that because it does all still it's all contained within, you know, the speed metal or power metal genre, I would think. But yeah.
Hey, John, did you just while we're talking about the just the different types of sounds of the song, did you hear at times? I heard, like, I don't know if you took notes on each song, but Kingdom of Steel, the beginning, it was so 80s to me. Like, some of these songs had that 80s tone to it. Yeah, which was like really like, holy shit, this is great, you know?
Yeah,
how they would throw that in. There was a few of them like that,
like a power ballad kind of vibe. Yeah. The drum intro, I thought, really kind of set the tone for that, with that, you know, just simple, wide open, like cannon shot snare sound. It definitely had that vibe.
Had that ballad, that little 80s ballad type, you know.
And then they threw in a nice little interlude in there with Prelude to Darkness, which was very nice too. It was a nice bit of respite before the Killer Queen, the next track, which just comes out, you know, machine gun style.
Yeah,
and they are all Herman. All of them are really clean, talented players, and they all absolutely shred.
Yes,
they all rip. As a drummer, it's great to watch Guy. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. Guy, the drummer, because he is like metronomic. He is so rock solid and on it. I'll often listen to some of these, you know, really crazy talented players, and I know it's easy to track, you know, a little bit and punch in spots when you're recording. So I always like to go in and watch some performance videos and see, can they replicate this live, or is it all, you know, studio magic? And all of these guys, but Guy specific, absolutely can. You know, he is that perfect and metronomic. He's like a machine when he plays. Not to say he doesn't have feel, because he does, but it's so much fun to watch them play. It's such a feel good. I don't want to insult anybody by calling it a feel good record, but I was grinning ear to ear with the first time I played it. I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah. It's got a lot going on for sure.
I prefer my heavy music to be a little, well, not quite so fast, a little chunkier, a little sludgier. And this album just tickles me, man. I love it. I'm a big fan.
You brought up the Killer Queen before, and that's one of my favorites on the track, because it started out so awesome, and then it got so dramatic, and all I can picture is just like a battle, like just warriors getting ready to go at it. It just had that drama in it. It was a really, really, really fucking good song. You know, you were just hooked from the beginning, and it felt like you were sitting in a play, just watching it play out. And it was just really, really, really good song.
Safe to say that is a standout one, or one of your standouts. Yeah. Any others?
I like Burning Heart, and I love Power of the Triforce. Yeah, those two. Yeah. Also,
Pixel Prison was definitely a standout for me. Big, fast. Herman and Sam,
cool opening to that song too.
Yeah,
it's just
definitely
a badass opening. You know,
some great keyboard tones were used in that. I absolutely loved it. The key, there's that middle break.
How about the little 80s synthesizer there? You know,
absolutely.
That's what I was talking about before. Just crazy how they added that in.
8-bit tones and all that.
Sounded great though. You know.
Yeah, that was great. I love Wildest Dreams is a Taylor Swift cover, and I love it. Truth be told, I have never, to my knowledge, I have never listened to a Taylor Swift song in its entirety. And when I saw that, this was a cover, I thought, well, I want to hear the original. So I listened to the original first before I got to this, to their version of it. And I don't want to say it goes without saying, but I much prefer DragonForce's version than Taylor's. And they rip through it too. I think Taylor's version is just a couple of seconds under 4 minutes long, and they get the entire song done in 2 minutes and 50 seconds.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll tell you,
go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say the album too, the way it was such a treat at the end because the power of Triforce. I love instrumentals. I could listen to instrumentals all day, and it was so nice for them after you absorb so much of this album to just, kind of end on an instrumental, which was so great. And it was a great arrangement. I thought it was just, the guitar was remarkable throughout, and it was badass. I loved it. Really, really cool shit.
I thought it was, again, bands will make all kinds of interesting choices. And the fact that they had that song on twice, once with vocals and once without.
Yes. Yeah.
And then the two versions of Doomsday Party, one that had Elise Reed, again, apologies, from Amaranth, did a guest vocal on it. And the version with her guest vocal on it has a very different feel, from the one without.
Right. A little more Broadway on that one, right?
Nice to have the option. She is a power singer, and Amaranth is another, big, huge band in terms of, their feel. But it's great. I realized that they've done some other covers too over the years. They cover a death song, Evil Dead. Let's see, My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion. Come on. How fucking rad is that?
True.
Ring of Fire. Yeah, and then of course Wildest Dreams. So I really enjoyed the album. I think it's great. But all right, well, let's put a number on it. Where do you land? Where did it land with you?
I mean, production quality, John. It was unreal. The theme, I loved it. I loved it. Just everything about the performance quality. Listen, there wasn't anything I didn't like about this album. And the only reason I'm going to score it the way I am is because I'm just not going to listen to it a lot.
Sure.
I'm going to listen to it, but it's just not going to be like a go-to for me here and there. It just won't. But I'll listen to it occasionally. From here on in, for sure. Maybe.
So the subjective portion of your listening tastes is going to bring the number down a little bit. Sure.
Yeah, and it's not down. I would give this a solid 8, John. I mean, this is an 8. These guys are talented. The album is fantastic, and there's so much going on. Like John said just moments ago, you have to pay attention to everything because there's just so many genres and so many things going on here. So it's an 8. It's a strong 8 for me, for sure.
Yeah, I'm giving it an 8. I'm right between an 8.5 and an 8.75 because musically the performances are astonishingly clean and tight and really, really, really well written album. The writing on this is great. It's fantastic.
I agree.
The production is great as well. It's super clean. It's fat. It's thick. It's got, you can bite into it. So I'm a big fan. And I will pay more attention to what they do going forward for sure.
Very nice. That's what it's all about, for sure. Yep. Well done, boys. Yeah.
Well, this great record. Always good to shoot the shit with you. Regrettably, we don't have Derek here. No, so
this is where Derek would tell us what he's going to pick next, but because he's not on,
that's right. Yeah. Well, it's coming. So, I spoke with him and he let me know there's one forthcoming soon.
Okay. Very nice. All right, man.
All right. Well, good stuff, and we will see you on the next one.
Peace.
Later.